Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Well, I sure hope you had a fabulous weekend. I'll tell you, they go by that fast, don't they? Ours was actually packed with a lot of work inside the house and outside the house, just taking care of a few things. And, our kids, they really came through for us and did a humongous amount of like yard work, pulling all those, weeds that you just never get to and stuff like that. And I genuinely appreciate it. And boy, I'll tell you, there's something really enjoyable about being a family and working around and doing that work together. It actually just kind of brings you together in a way. And I really, really valued that kind of support. So, hey, when you got those family projects to do around, put the music on, make some real fun out of it. I'll tell you, it can really make it a lot more enjoyable. And, many hands make light work, right? Anyway, that's what I was brought up to know. Well, guys, one of the articles that I was reading this morning absolutely defies common sense, but this is a bill that has been tabled and coming out in California that is going to make it illegal for any retail employee, not just the standard folks, but any retail employee to stop shoplifters. That means all that security staff, all those security guards, boom, they're not going to be able to stop shoplifters. And guys, look what happened when they dropped, the felony limit to about $900. Boy, I'll tell you, they saw a massive spike in retail shoplifting. And so now you got like big stores like Target and Walmart, this and that. They're practically locking everything down onto the shelf, with all those little lock tags and things like that. And you need to have someone come over there, depending on the price of the item, unlock that thing, take it out, show it to you. They hold it while you walk to the register with them, all this kind of stuff. And then, hey, haven't we heard a big deal from some of these big box stores? Oh, yeah, well, our loss percentages are so high that we've just had to close the store and this kind of stuff. And of course, part of that is true that, a lot of these retail thefts have really hit their bottom line, no doubt about it. But also, guys, let's remember, with this inflationary environment that we've got, people aren't buying, this big ticket items as much as what they used to. And you can see that, can't you, in global shipping. Maersk came out, which is the largest container company in the world, and flat out said, look, we're seeing about a 50% reduction in the utilization of, these shipping containers. Well, guys, that tells you flat out that, hey, people, the demand for goods is not there the way it once was. And then on top of that, all the industry's there. So, it's all this trickle down stuff. If there's not a big demand for it and we're not seeing a big utilization of shipping containers, that tells you that, hey, the manufacturers aren't getting as many orders, are they? And so then what's happening there? Well, of course, they're not doing as much manufacturing as they once did before. And then the suppliers of the goods to do the manufacturing of the items, they're not getting the same demand either. And it's all a trickle down. You see all kinds of layoffs. Well, now hitting the retail floor, we're going to let people just walk right in, grab what they want, and walk right out as long as it's under $900, and nobody can say boo about it. Perhaps if by chance you can call the police and the police can be right there on the spot, you might be able to have some. But I'm telling you guys, it defies common sense. But that's what you really have going on in the world. And it really, really, really is troubling. You're thinking, how on earth would anybody even get into business? Like if you were a small retailer, and you wanted to open up a little shop, you'd think awfully hard and fast, about whether or not you'd want to open it up over there in California or in jurisdictions that would just say, oh yeah, they can come right in, take whatever they want, walk right out. Because look, what's probably the highest priced item in a local convenience store and stuff like that? $50 tops. That means that your store can get absolutely looted and there's really nothing you can do about it. Then think of this, guys, the spin-offs on this. Do you think insurance companies are covering a lot of these businesses the way they are? I'm telling you, you look up the stats and find out a lot of insurance companies have ranked their premiums to the nth degree, and in certain areas are not even going to insure the retailers at all. So, guys, Look, the society that we're allowing to be built with a lot of this agenda has to be rethought, because I'll tell you, we're going to lose out on a lot. And is this not a push to close off a lot of these big box stores, opening up online, retailers more and more and more? And so you got a few of them out there. And yes, Target, Walmart, of course, Amazon's already the biggest player in that field. But that's what's going to be ending up happening. People are just going to say, forget it. It's not even worth it. And so there you go. Now we see a major, major, major shift in something that we have been used to having for decades, and it will be gone. I'm telling you. Now, the second article that I was reading also defies common sense to the point of sheer ridiculousness, and this is coming out of Germany. And the president of the German energy sector was coming out and saying, hey, look, even though we've replaced our natural gas reserves to the 76% capacity, and what they actually normally have is about 75% capacity, to prepare for their winters. This guy's coming out and said, but the energy crisis isn't over. We just don't know how bad the weather could be. Why are they saying that, guys? I'll tell you why. So they can keep the prices like way up here, because the anxiety level of what's available when they've literally stockpiled their reserves. You go fact check this and read it up on it yourself to find out it's true. They got their stockpile of natural gas has been built back up to 76% capacity, and yet they're crying that there's still going to be an energy crisis for Germany because they don't know how bad the weather's going to be. I mean, come on, talk about sticking it to your own people when you're dealing with stuff like that, just so you've gotten used to these high inflated prices, for natural gas and whatever. I guess we better keep those up there, and the profits that these companies are making are obscene. And that's what's going on. And so, guys, I'm telling you, you got to think, the common sense isn't so common anymore, is it? I'll tell you. But this is where, look, you got to get out there, and you really, really, really got to get a hold of your member of Congress or Parliament or whatever political, representation you have in your area, and you apply some real, communication in there, effective, interactive communication, where you're writing it down. You're not just, spouting off, but you make a really good case and let them know that, hey, for every letter, by the way, that goes in, you know what? That they estimate that represents about 1,000 voters. They matter, guys, believe it or not. Someone that sits down and takes the time to genuinely articulate a strong argument on a particular issue, that gets noticed. And now maybe they start thinking, okay, well, how can we counteract this, overcome this objection and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that is how they deal with it. But in other cases, hey, look, if it's an election year and they're looking to get reelected, you watch and see just how much weight those letters can have. I'm telling you, they can make a big difference. You got to get out there and do it. I mean, if we don't, then we basically are acquiescing to the system that we're getting, and whether we like it or not. And that's where just, hey, don't be like out there just an armchair complainer. Like for me here, I'm doing these coffee chats, but I'll tell you what, I'm doing my part to get our voice out there and heard by the people that need to hear it, so that we don't have a situation where we end up in this digital asset space with all kinds of regulations and stuff like that literally crush the industry here. We've got to get out there and look, we do need regulatory clarity, and we're wanting to see regulations, and we want them to be fair and balanced. Well, if you want that, you got to get out there and you got to make it known, and you got to articulate that argument in a way that is going to be taken notice. Because I'll tell you what, you fill a letter full of, derogatory remarks and F-bombs and things. I bet you $10 it doesn't get through the fifth word before it's, in the trash. You gotta be really articulated and use your words. I'm telling you, the pen truly is mightier than the sword. Believe it or not, it has really made a big, big difference in the past. But the thing is this, we have been dumbed down, and just getting all of our information from the Fifth Estate, critical thinking's off the table, and debate is literally frowned upon. Having genuine debate, look, I don't have to be agreed with, but look, don't you want your voice to be at least heard? Whether it's agreed with or not, and having a functional debate. There are issues, even for my own life, that because of debate, I've changed my total point of view on them. Now, others, hey, I've been able to reinforce the view that I had because I used critical thinking and logical debate to do it. It's not about, getting into some kind of a, big verbal argument and fight. No, it's about putting forth an apologetic wisdom, which is, what do you believe and why do you believe it, and having a good reason for that. Well, guys, that's at least what I think. I'll tell you what. Well, it's Monday, and it means the start of a new work week. And I'll tell you what, I really enjoy Mondays. The old is gone. Look, there's nothing we can do about yesterday, is there? Absolutely nothing. So why live in just a world of, kind of like, regret or whatever? I mean, there's good memories and there's bad memories, to be sure. But when you're looking for the future, fill it with promise. Fill it with hope. Think positively about what tomorrow holds for you, and that tomorrow is going to be better than your today in a major, major way. Take that yoke upon your faith. Take that kind of, attitude, and then just let it go there. And look at even what Jesus said. Don't worry about tomorrow. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, right? Think about the positives. Don't fill your life with, what if this and what if that? Because that's how they want you. That's how they want us. They want us hooked into this, kind of a fear scenario. I'll tell you what, I want to look to the future with some serious hope. And in this space, I'll tell you what, amount of fun that goes out to fill people full of that fear, uncertainty, and doubt is to the obscene. And that's where you got to know what you hold and just kind of like look at these days right now where we're just kind of moving along at these prices as opportunities that may never come again. And down the road, we're going to see distributed ledger technology revolutionizing the world. And even the powers that be are calling it that. The fourth industrial revolution, aren't they? And so, guys, that's how we have to think. Well, I'll tell you what, until later on today when we have a fantastic video for you, I sure hope you have a great Monday and take care.